process. Oh, did I say that word? Yeah. Oh my gosh. We don't want to go through the process to get where God has promised we're going to be.
Yes. Amen. Amen.
Somebody say process.
Process.
If you don't accept what God says about you, you can't walk out what God has planned for you.
Amen.
Yes.
I'm going to say it slower. If you don't accept what God says about you, you will never walk out what God has planned for you.
Hallelujah.
It won't happen. If you can't believe the word of the Lord that has gone forth over your life, if you can't receive the seed that God plants into your heart, you'll never get a harvest.
Hallelujah.
It'll never happen for you.
Hallelujah.
So number one, not only do you have to recognize where you are, number two, you have to accept what God says about you.
Yes.
You've got to accept what God says about you, because that is the beginning of the process. A lot of times the biggest challenge we have is the fact that we're looking at ourselves through our own set of eyes, instead of putting on the lenses of God and seeing ourselves the way God sees us.
Yes. Amen.
That's the only reason why God says what he says about us, because that's how he sees us. See, he knows our ending from our beginning.
Yes.
And see, God operates outside of time.
Well.
This here is time.
Amen.
This is where God operates. He operates outside of time.
Amen.
So when God called Gideon, almighty man of valor, you got to understand, God, that's when Jesus said, before Abraham was, I am. Because he wasn't talking in time, he was talking in eternity. Before Abraham was, I am. And so when he said, oh Gideon, almighty man of valor, he was talking from a place of eternity. What was he seeing? He was talking to Gideon where he was supposed to be, not necessarily where he was.
Amen. Amen.
So you've got to receive what God is saying about you, because that's God's truth. And if it's God's truth, it's done.
Hallelujah.
It is done.
Yes.
Regardless of what your current circumstance is.
Amen.
You've got to accept what God says about you. Once you accept what God says about you, you've got to do first things first. Go to Judges 6:25. We're going to go through 32. This verse, yes. Now it came to pass the same night that the Lord said unto him, take your father's young bull, the second bull of 7 years old, and tear down the altar of Baal that your father has, and cut down the wooden image that is beside it, and build an altar to the Lord your God on top of this rock in the proper arrangement, and take the second bull and offer a burnt sacrifice with the wood of the image which you shall cut down. And so Gideon took 10 men from among his servants and did as the Lord had said to him, but because he feared his father's household and the men of the city too much to do it by day, he did it by night. Look at your neighbor and say, you got to do it by any means necessary. Right. See, God will give you some of the plans, but sometimes you got to think for yourself. Verse 28 says, and when the men of the city arose early in the morning, there was an altar of Baal torn down, and the wooden image that was beside it was cut down, and the second bull was being offered on the altar which had been built. So they said to one another, who has done this thing? And when they had inquired and asked, they said, Gideon, the son of Joash, has done this thing. Then the men of the city said to Joash, bring out your son that he may die, because he has torn down the altar of Baal, and because he has cut down the wooden image that was beside it. Don't go. Go back. Now you know there's a problem when what you should not be worshiping holds a higher degree of worth to you than the God who has delivered you time and time again.
Yes. Right. Amen.
When you want to kill somebody over something that you should not be in possession of, instead of serving the Lord your God, there's something wrong and skewed with your point of view.
Come on.
These men were willing to kill Gideon over a false god, over an idol that they had put up in their life. I promise you, if you mess with some stuff in some people's lives, they'll kill you. They will slander your name. They will talk about you till you are nothing. Because you touch something that had value in their life that has no value to God.
Yes.
When you put something above the value of God in your life, that's called idolatry. And you are out of position with God.
Well.
Your kids, they can become idols.
Yes.
Your job, yes, it can become an idol. It can become the very thing that keeps you from operating in the manifested power of God.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the little foxes that destroy the vine. It's not all these big things, these big old, no, it's the things that you don't even, that you figure don't carry much weight. So I got this, I've been saved for like 15 years. So I can handle this. These newborn babies, they can't, but I got this. See, when you think you've got something that you really ain't got, and you're leaning upon your own self to get it done, instead of leaning upon the arm of God, what seems harmless in the beginning will turn around and kill you. That's what Saul thought.
Yes.
Saul said, I ain't got to kill all of them. I know, Lord. I know you said kill all the Amalekites, but I ain't got to kill all of them. I'll leave the prime of the sheep. I'll leave the prime of the princes, and I'll leave. And the very thing that he saved was the very thing that killed him.
Wow.
It will kill your purpose in the kingdom if you don't take care of it in the beginning.
Yes.
Wow.
If you don't handle what God tells you to handle, when God tells you to handle it,
Yes.
Oh, wow.
you run the risk of your purpose being averted.
Wow.